Hello everyone and welcome back to Movies with Mia. If you're new to the channel, hi! I'm Mia Tiffany and here we're watching the greatest classic films throughout history. Today we are back on the case with Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes. First things first, I'd like to shout out my Golden Oscar patrons. Guys, thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. And if you're interested in becoming an exclusive VIP Tiffany Club member, then please check out that Patreon link, which is in the description box below. If you're not quite interested in becoming a patron, however you still want to support the channel, why not consider buying me a movie ticket? Currently, all movie ticket donations are being raised to hire an editor, so if that is something that you are willing to support, head on over to www.buymeacoffee.com/Mia Tiffany. And I've linked that down in the description. And really quick announcement, I wanted to let you guys know that my website is currently down, so if you have a recommendation of any classic Hollywood films or you just want to reach out to me, you can email me at miawilliams642@gmail.com. You can also reach out to me on my social media on Facebook and Twitter at Movies with Mia and on Instagram and TikTok at movieswithmia_. Today we are watching the 12th episode in the Granada television series The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, titled The Red-Headed League. But before we jump into that, I want to honor a man who we are going to have to say goodbye to very soon, Mr. David Burke. David Burke studied at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London, England. He had been in numerous television shows and films prior to The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Burke was also quite familiar with the stage. And while his fame wasn't necessarily attributed to his stage work, he is still highly praised for his various and diverse stage roles. His role as Dr. Watson was not his first interaction with the world of Sherlock Holmes. In 1965, Burke appeared on an episode of the BBC's Sherlock Holmes as Sir George Burnwell. When the time came to cast this Granada retelling, producer Michael Cox did not hesitate to request Burke for the role of Dr. Watson. Cox and Burke had worked together previously in 1972 on another television series. Burke was initially hesitant in accepting the role of Dr. Watson, however his wife, Anna Calder Marshall, persuaded him to take the role. Later, Burke decided against signing on for a second season because of the strain that filming had placed on his personal life. His wife and young son at the time were living in Kent, while filming was taking place in Manchester, and Burke did not like being away from his family. Fortunately, the Royal Shakespeare Company offered Burke and his wife a job opportunity in Stratford-upon-Avon. And thank you to all of my viewers across the pond for helping me with the geography of where Stratford is in comparison to Kent. Clearly, I'm American, obviously, so I don't know like the way around England, so thank you guys for helping me with that. So, Burke and his wife thought it best to accept their offer for him to leave the show and for them to move their family. And so, for 13 glorious episodes, we were blessed with the amazing work of David Burke as Dr. Watson. With that being said, this is my first time watching The Red-Headed League, and I am so excited to get into it. But before we do, guys, y'all know the deal. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification to stay in the loop. All right, everyone, it is time to grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and let's get in to The Red-Headed League. I always love these intros. I don't even know what to talk about anymore during these intros, bro. I just absolutely love them. I was watching Pride and Prejudice last night, and it has a similar, like, really beautiful sort of intro before the actual episode starts. I just love them. They're great. I'm excited. I think all these episodes in, I still get so, like, this set design is so mesmerizing. There was like a handoff there, I noticed, so he's probably following this handoff. Important papers, maybe, or something of importance. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a box. It is a box. Or a chest. Oh, it's a couple boxes. Maybe it's like treasure, like money. So suspicious. Love the suspense of it all. No, I'm about to pick that up. I'm curious too. I want to know what it is. my gosh, a man with very long fingernails. What does that say? Oh, the Bank of France. So it is money. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Holmes.
No.
No, please, come in. Come in, Dr. Watson.
I know as little about Mr. J. Bears Wilson beyond the obvious facts. That he takes snuff, that he has been to China.
How in the name did you know all that?
He's like, how did you know that, Holmes? I mean, at this point.
I started off as a ship's carpenter.
The muscles of your right hand are more developed than the left.
And the writing?
The left sleeve with the smooth patch near the elbow where you lean it on the desk.
Yes. Yes, Watson. I love how they always open up with a deduction from Sherlock.
I have made a small study of tattoo marks. That trick of staining the fish scales is quite peculiar to China.
There's nothing in it after all.
He's totally not laughing. He's like, there's a method to my madness. It's not random.
Show the doctor that advertisement.
There is a vacancy open of £4 a week. All red-headed men above the age of 21 are eligible. Is this serious?
Is this serious? I knew it. It's like a fraternal league.
I have a small pawnbroking business. I used to keep 2 assistants. Now I just keep the one. Go.
What is the name of this obliging youth?
Vincent.
The way they were able to capture kind of realistically the late 1800s is amazing. It's so beautiful to see, too.
There's another vacancy in the League of Red-Headed Men.
I've never heard of it.
Nice money, too.
Ah, there'd be thousands of red-headed men apply.
What, not with such a fine, fiery colour as you are blessed with?
Fine, fiery color. I love it. Apply just for whatever. You might not get it, but what if you do, you know? I don't know.
Well, I'm very much of a stay-at-home sort of, but this, it looked interesting.
We're so near. Now, you pull your collar up. You come along with me.
I like that he's kind of encouraging him to do this, but also there's something about it that feels a little weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but seems a little bit off. Look at all these beautiful red-headed men.
This is Mr. Wilson.
Right at the front of the line. Wow, that's amazing.
Admirably suited. Congratulations, Mr. Wilson. You
Just
will, I'm
like
sure,
that.
excuse me if I take an obvious precaution.
Oh, it's real. He's like, why did you just do that? He looks freaking traumatized.
You're about to question me about Hezekiah Hopkins. He had instructed the trustees in his will to make life easier for the red-headed men in the town of his birth.
Hezekiah Hopkins. He sounds like a villain. That is amazing. Out of the hundreds of men that are there, he just gets it. Are you sure?
Wonderful colouring.
That is amazing. Just like that.
The vacancy has been filled.
He's like, how dare you? But something about that is a little strange. Like, he just waltzes in there and gets it. Like, I wonder if it was intentionally set for him. I don't know.
When would you be free to start upon your new duties?
What would be the hours?
10 till 2.
Yes, that would suit me very well.
He's really just touching his coif, okay? Like, you're touching my hair too much, bro.
And the work.
Well, you have to stay in the office. If you leave, you forfeit your whole position.
But what is the work?
To copy out the encyclopedia.
That sounds tedious. I love that the book wrapping is red. Totally not a coincidence.
You supply the ink, paper, and pen. We supply this desk and chair. Once again, my congratulations on the most important position you've been fortunate enough to gain.
4 hours of writing, copying the encyclopedia? I don't know.
The whole thing seemed to be quite ridiculous. Off I went and bought a penny bottle of ink and a pen, foolscap paper, and I set
to
off
work?
for Pope's Court.
That is hilarious. He's like, you have to bring your own pen, paper, and ink. Why don't you supply me with that stuff? I don't know. Is that weird?
Well, to my surprise, everything was as right as possible. Every Saturday at 2 o'clock, Mr. Ross would come in and give me my money, and then we'd both leave.
I guess that is cool that you kind of get to gain some knowledge you didn't know, you know, since you're copying an encyclopedia.
Abacus, architecture, adulteration, anatomy,
Why does he look like he wants to laugh?
apes.
He's trying to be so serious, and he's like, this is freaking ridiculous.
After 8 weeks, I was hoping with diligence to get on to B, when suddenly I went to my work as usual, but the door was shut with a little square of cardboard hammered onto the middle panel.
Is dissolved from this day Oh my. And it's written in red ink. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Love the red consistency is great.
Have you seen Mr. Duncan Ross?
Never heard of a gentleman of that name.
Oh, the gentleman at number 7.
Oh, he's red-headed.
Yes,
Gone.
Gone.
Mr. William Morris. Moved out yesterday.
His name isn't even Mr. Duncan Ross. For 8 weeks, you had me freaking copying an encyclopedia for £4 a week. I come into work one day and you don't exist and you're gone? That's a red flag.
17 King Edward Street.
Yeah, I'd hurry on down to that address like, hey man. Cricket & Son Manufactory of Artificial Kneecaps. The door is also red. Oh my god, I can't make this up. This is so amazing. It's most peculiar.
If all you can do is laugh at me, well, I can go elsewhere.
No, I wouldn't miss this case for the world.
For the world. I just cannot laugh at the absurdity.
This assistant of yours, how long has he been with you?
Well, about 3 months.
Why did you pick him?
He was handy and would come cheap.
At half wages,
So he
in
made
fact.
himself available. Very peculiar. Okay, so we'll start with the assistant here. I told you he was fishy.
What's he like? This Vincent Spaulding.
Well, he's tall.
Have you ever observed whether his ears have been pierced?
Yeah, he told me a gypsy had done it.
Something feels weird. Is it just me? Something feels strange.
He is still with you.
Yes.
You will be at your shop if I should need you.
Vincent had suggested I spend the rest of the weekend with my sister in Bath.
You enjoy a restful weekend in Bath.
Well, that's interesting. Why does he want him away? Oh my, let's see what's going on here.
Good day to you, Mr. Watson.
What do you make of it all, Watson?
What have you got for us?
I make nothing of it.
And yet there are graver issues hanging from this affair than at first sight appear.
Yes. Because then also the whole Bank of France debacle.
What are you going to do?
To smoke. And I beg that you won't speak to me for 50 minutes.
50 minutes?
The business of the Red-Headed League is concluded, sir.
Wait a second, is that Duncan Ross? But he was wearing a wig? Wait a second, what is going on?
Most satisfactorily, Professor.
Oh my god, is that Moriarty? Oh my god, I have goosebumps right now. What does he have planned? I mean, we only got a silhouette, but still! This is it! We're in the end game now! What is coming for our poor Sherlock?
Come. Watson. Can you tell me the way to the Strand from here?
Third right, 4th left.
And just like that. I wonder if 50 minutes had actually gone by, like, on the dot. That would have been funny.
Holmes, I could have told you that. What is it?
Watson, we are spies in an enemy's territory.
Oh boy. Oh, they're gonna follow him. There's sort of a game being played a little bit. Like, on the surface, it looks like super ridiculous, but there's something happening underneath, and I really like that.
A considerable crime is in contemplation. Today, being Saturday, complicates matters. And it is time we had some play.
A sandwich and a cup of coffee?
And then off to Violin Land.
Well, that was a really quick shift. Now we're just gonna go and have a little party. Enjoy a little bit of music. He's really working that violin.
When I saw him, I felt that an evil time might be coming to hunt down.
You know that moment when everything is like too perfect and then everything's just gonna fall apart? I'm not ready for it.
Good evening, Jones.
So, we're working in couples again, Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Merriweather, my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
I'm not personally in favour of amateur criminal investigators.
I like how he's called upon other people to kind of solve this with him. Shows you the gravity of this.
The Coburg branch of the bank is as well secured as any building in London. Even the insurance assessors agree on that point. There is no possibility that you could be broken into. And I find myself extremely inconvenienced.
It actually is almost kind of like sad or upsetting, thinking that they have this sort of upper hand, but really you know deep down that they really don't, and this is all part of Moriarty's plan. It kind of makes you a little sad.
The game tonight, much more exciting.
What will my reward be, Mr. Holmes?
A young man called Clay.
Oh, how I'd like to get my hands on that devil.
So this is like a bank heist, but there's something more underneath it, obviously. This is a game.
This young fella's a gentleman, as Mr. Holmes says, but he's slippery as an eel.
He himself was educated at Eton. So, Watson, bring the gun.
Uh-oh, Watson's bringing the gun. Okay, so it's set up like this is a bank heist, but underneath it, there's something else. Because we know Moriarty, right? Like, he's a master of games. So I want to see what his intentions are.
Well, you are certainly not vulnerable from above.
Nor from below.
Mr. Merriweather, may I ask you to be a little more quiet? Sit on one of those boxes and not to interfere.
He's like, sit down and shut up. Okay, Okay, so what is it they're looking for here? I'm curious.
Is it a special reason you should want to break into this bank? Something in the past few months? Something that you have concealed from us?
Those boxes from the Bank of France, maybe?
The information I have is not to be divulged to amateur detectives.
Private consulting detective.
Especially as I am trying to save your skin.
He's like, get it right, Mr. Merriweather. He's like, I'm trying to help you out. You're over here insulting me.
So what is it?
Our French gold.
Where?
The crates upon which Dr. Watson sits. 30,000 Napoleons wrapped between layers of lead foil.
Oh my God, you're sitting on 30,000 pounds. 30,000 Napoleons, I mean. Excuse me. It's tinfoil. Individual coins. Someone is here. A man with a cane. I still want to know how this pertains to the Red-Headed League.
This is much bolder and larger in conception than I had first thought.
This long planning is not Clay style at all, sir.
It bears the hallmarks of Professor Moriarty's work.
Professor Moriarty? Oh no.
And who is this Moriarty?
It appears that he is a man of an excellent education, but a criminal strain runs in his blood.
It kind of makes you a little sad, because usually Sherlock is like always one step ahead, always seeing what comes next. And now, like, kind of knowing that he's sort of in the spider web of Moriarty is actually kind of unsettling, I'm not gonna lie.
He's the organizer of half that is evil. His agent is caught, but the central power is never caught. We shall not see the professor tonight.
I love the way he's describing him. I love how they introduced us to him in this episode, so we kind of have like a two-parter here with the final problem.
Would you be so kind as to put out this lamp? We cannot risk the presence of light.
This is ridiculous.
If they fire, I have no compunction about shooting them.
Oh my God, he has to use his gun. I feel like it's always like so intense when Dr. Watson has to use his gun. The stakes are higher now. Oh, someone is digging. That's what the sound is. I thought it was like a cane on the brick. So this is why Vincent became the man's assistant, the pawnbroker man's assistant, because the pawnbroker shop is right next to the bank. Duh. Cannot be good for his lungs. The reason why they had the man join the Red-Headed League was so that his assistant could get him out of the pawnbroker shop so that he could dig through the pawnbroker shop to get to the bank. Duh.
Great Scott!
We saw it. And we saw you. Yeah, put the gun down, buddy.
It's no good, John Clay. You have no chance at all.
Rookie mistake, pal. I don't know what you were trying to do, but it didn't work.
So I see.
You've caught me.
I'm Sherlock Holmes, a private investigator.
Hold out, we're off at the Derbies.
I beg you to take your filthy hands off me. I have royal
The
blood
audacity.
in my veins.
I'm like, you broke into my bank, and you're acting like that? You better stop that.
Say sir and please when you address me.
Would you please, sir, mind marching upstairs to transport your highness to the police station?
That's better.
He has the audacity. Not me.
One question, Mr. Clay. Professor Moriarty was somewhere behind the idea of the Red-Headed League.
If you value your future well-being, I suggest you keep that name off your lips, Mr. Holmes.
So yes, thank you for explaining fully.
I don't know what to say. Please forgive me, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Merriweather, I have been of some small expense, which I shall expect the bank to refund.
Of course.
Yeah, now you want to be nice. You're gonna break all the fine china in there, bro. Oh God, don't do it. Oh, jeez. Do you know how much damage this is gonna cost? How much costs of damage? I can't even speak right. I'm so...
I'm sorry we failed you. Sherlock Holmes.
Holmes is a mere amateur, and he has a positive talent for getting in my way.
The lighting is perfect. Oh God, he's such a villain.
Should he be removed?
It would be disappointing. I find him interesting. If this continues, then certainly something will have to be done.
He is
Thank you.
chilling. I mean, I'm not even in the same room with this man, and I feel his presence. It is, like, amazing.
The whole business was still confused and grotesque.
When I heard that the assistant had come for half wages, he had some motive. Had there been a woman in the house, I would have suspected vulgar intrigue.
passions. Absolutely.
I recognized Clay immediately and delayed him to examine his knees. When they closed the Red-Headed League offices, the tunnel was complete.
Oh, wow. That is amazing how we got all of that.
Oh, you've reasoned it out beautifully, Holmes.
Every link rings true. You are a benefactor of the race.
Well, maybe it is of some little use after all.
Love that little ego boost there. Thank you, Watson. I am not comfortable right now. This episode is not ending on a very comfortable note for me. Look at him. He looks so menacing. Oh, God. Oh, I love that. Thank you. I love how he's still in the frame as a picture. Like, he's sort of looming over us. Like, he's looming over this episode. I am so terrified. I cannot explain to you what we're about to witness in the next episode. I know what the final problem is about, okay? So we don't even have to pretend like I don't know, because I know. I know what's about to play out, and I'm not ready for it, but this episode was very interesting. I love that they really gave us a sort of introduction to Professor Moriarty and his sort of ways of kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? Anyway, I really appreciated that we got an introduction to him. This episode was very confusing almost, because it's like there were so many different things at play, and then as you kind of saw them weave together, you were like, oh, that's how everything came together. Fantastic episode. I'm not ready for the next episode. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. And yeah, I loved all of the beautiful redheaded men in this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching it with me. All right, everyone, that does it for this video. As always, if you liked it as much as I did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you would like to become an official Tiffany Club member, then please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification to stay in the loop. If you would like to see this episode's full reaction, you will find it on my Patreon. There, I also host my bi-weekly Saturday night MWM live watch parties where we come together and watch one classic film live via Zoom. I also have a few Patreon-only full-length reactions available to all Patreon tiers, and of course our Flick Pick polls, which allow you to choose movies to be featured on future videos. If any of that sounds of interest to you, then please check out that Patreon link, which is in the description box below. In our next video with Sherlock and Dr. Watson, we are going to be watching the final episode of this first season, The Final Problem. I am so excited to watch The Final Problem. If you have not seen it or read it, then please familiarize yourself with it. And I have provided a link of where I bought my physical copy of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes down in the description. One announcement I do have is my website is actually down right now, so if you have a recommendation for any classic Hollywood films, you can email me at miawilliams642@gmail.com. You can also reach out to me on my social media on Facebook and Twitter at Movies with Mia, and on Instagram and TikTok at movieswithmia_. I also do have a Letterboxd under the handle at it's always so hard to say. I also have a Letterboxd under the handle at Mamma Mia Tiffany. There is a list of all of the things I've reacted to on the channel, and I do have to update it, so if you don't see like any of the new reactions, don't worry, I will update it. And I've linked that down in the description. Finally, guys, it's always such a pleasure. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe and healthy out there, and I'll see you, boo, in the next episode. I messed up. And I'll see you, boo, in the next video. Bye, everyone. Yes, I am the shaggiest I have been in a while, but I am loving the shag, so we're gonna keep it. The shag. Oh God. To my English viewers out there, you're gonna be like, the shag? I don't know where my phone went. Oh, it's right here. I just don't like when it like rings while I'm trying to work. It's very annoying. Okay, further back, and I need to project my voice like the thespian that I am. And if you're interested in becoming an exclusive VIP Tiffany Club member, then please check out we'll try it again. When the kime tame. I don't know why my brain wants to like rearrange letters today, but I guess that's what we're doing. It's totally random, but I just wanted to say this for bloopers. I did want to say that David Burke and Jeremy Brett got along really well behind the scenes. I don't know if anyone was like curious about that. Obviously, you can tell by their chemistry on screen. They did have a really great chemistry off screen as well. So I just wanted to put that out there, and that's going in the bloopers. Okay, bye.